Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and I suppose an episode of Cracking the Cryptic that I hoped I would never have to make. The puzzle on the screen is called YNWA, which stands for You'll Never Walk Alone, and it's a Jurgen Klopp tribute by Celery, who I happen to know is a Liverpool fan, as indeed am I. And those of you who follow football will know that Liverpool fans basically have been rendered bereft following an announcement a week or so ago in which our manager Jurgen Klopp has decided he's going to leave the club at the end of the season. And why are we bereft? Well, he has restored Liverpool Football Club to a position of some prominence in European football from quite a low level. We were really we had brief flashes in the period before Jurgen Klopp, notably with Istanbul and Rafa Benitez, but Jurgen Klopp has made just the most incredible difference, and I think for many Liverpool fans it's been quite a rare thing to have a football manager where you're proud to have them as a manager, and that reflects, I think, on Jurgen Klopp as a man. He is a man who shows a lot of heart. A lot of things go on behind the scenes that maybe, if you're not a Liverpool fan, you might not be aware of. The way he reaches out to parts of the community that have undergone tragedy or suffered poverty, or to individuals and to families who have suffered heartache. It's really very impressive, and I for one, and I think Celery for two, we're very sad that he's not going to be the Liverpool manager anymore after the summer. And Celery has made this puzzle, and the testers have looked at it and they say it is absolutely brilliant. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to try and not walk alone. Apologies if you can't stand Liverpool. I know football is a very emotive topic. I am well aware. And the reasons, I mean, the weird thing is about football, it dominates for many of us who are football fans and big football fans. When you actually think back in your life to the decisions that you took, often as a young child, as to why you support the team that you do, they were somewhat arbitrary. I supported Liverpool. I went to school in the north of England as a very young boy, and I found that I supported Liverpool because they had they were the team that had the most red in their kit, and red was my favourite colour, and that. That's such a weird decision has taken me all over Europe supporting them, to many nights at Anfield, some great nights, some terrible nights, and yeah, it's had quite an effect on my adult life. And had blue been my favourite colour, or had something else been my favourite colour, who would have known where it would have ended up? But this is where it ended up. And anyway, this is what we're going to have a look at today and see if we. So, as I say, you'll never walk alone. I think it's a very, it's a very nice sentiment. And a different topic. Sorry, my mind's skipping over. I will get to puzzle solving in a minute, but different topic. A psychiatrist friend of mine was talking recently. This is a bit tangential, about he's seeing more and more people come into his practice who suffer from an inability to concentrate on things. And apparently people go in and they say, I just can't concentrate on anything for more than 2 or 3 minutes. And the reason this is happening is because of things like TikTok, where you consume videos or information really quickly, and then you discard it and you move on to the next thing, and then you discard it, and you sort of teach your brain to have a very, very short span of attention. And I do wonder a little bit if Cracking the Cryptic is providing people with some sort of respite from that, in the sense that many of the videos are really very long. Certainly in comparison with 2 or 3 minutes, I've already been going on for nearly twice that already. And actually, we quite like that as human beings. We quite like having to concentrate, or perhaps in the modern world, this is the antidote to the 2 or 3 minute thing, because to follow the videos and to do these puzzles, you do have to try and concentrate for longer periods. And maybe there's a part of our brain that really, really likes that and thinks, well, this is how things should be. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I've waffled on for long enough. Let's talk about other things. We are streaming tonight, 10 o'clock UK time, Hexcells. We would love to have your company. I will put a link on the screen there. Sorry about that. I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I've loaded it now. Here we go. I'll start off with this, actually. This is my favourite picture of Jurgen Klopp, to return to Jurgen Klopp. And if you're wondering, obviously in the foreground is Jurgen Klopp. In the background, that is Bill Shankly, who is a legendary manager of Liverpool. And I love the fact that I think quite serendipitously, if you like, and coincidentally, they both have exactly the same expression. Yeah, it's a brilliant photo. Anyway, what else did I want to tell you about? We're streaming tonight. We've got Riffclown's Sudoku hunt over on Patreon. Boom, there it is. The Sudoku gallery, it's open. Those of you who have had a go and finished it have really, really enjoyed it. So that is a delight for us to hear. I'm not surprised. Riffclown's puzzles are wonderful, and you can find that over on Patreon. Whole Sudoku hunt right now. To be in with a chance of winning the competition, you have plenty of time. The competition closes on the 20th of February. And then the only other thing I wanted to say was a very happy birthday to Deborah, who has turned a secret age today, which I won't reveal. And I know that Deborah has turned a secret age because her husband, Andrew, wrote from Ferndale, Washington. And Andrew has let slip, Deborah, that you do like chocolate cake, but you're not so keen on frosting. But very kindly, Andrew has offered to eat the frosting on your cake for you. Andrew is clearly a man after my own heart. So, Deborah, many happy returns. I hope you have a great day today. Now, you'll never walk alone. Let's have a look at Celery's puzzle. These are the rules. It starts off with, as a Liverpool fan, the news that Klopp was leaving the club left me broken. I and many others are immensely grateful for what he achieved and how he revolutionised the club. This is a puzzle as a tribute to Jurgen Klopp. You'll never walk alone. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. The 3x3 grey squares are additional regions of the puzzle, whereby digits cannot repeat within a grey square. Okay, so this is sometimes called Windoku. So you can see there that those cells there, let's just highlight them, they have to contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. So it's like another Sudoku box added to the puzzle, overlaid on some other Sudoku boxes. The same is going to be true for each of these other grey squares. Now, next it says, the You'll Never Walk Alone lines in boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8 are German whisper lines. Very, very appropriate, given that Jurgen is, of course, German. Whereby adjacent digits upon the line must differ by at least 5. So if this square here was a 1, this square here would have to be at least 6, because it needs to be at least 5 different from 1. So it could be 6, 7, 8 or 9. That's how German whispers lines operate. And a digit in a football, brackets are white circles, we've got lots of footballs in the grid. A digit in a football indicates how many footballs contain that digit. So this is sometimes called the circle rule. This is a new rule that's come to Sudoku of late, and it is a very fine one indeed. In fact, that reminds me, Mark has decided that for my ultra solve on Patreon for this month, which will go as a Patreon bonus if I can solve it at all, is going to be a puzzle by Jesper Josephson's. It's called something like Circles. Apparently it's very, very hard. Anyway, I will try and find time to do that. Anyway, do have a go at this puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Right. In fact, there's loads of things. There's loads of little secrets I could let you in on. That might help to solve this. I'm going to start off with a Windoku. I haven't seen Windoku for ages. There is a Windoku trick that we can do. Probably can't do it now, but we might be able to do it at some point. And the trick it's a bit like a set trick, I suppose. The trick is to think about these three columns together, and the weird thing is you can do it for the rows as well, but let's just do it for the columns and to give ourselves the idea. Now obviously, in these three columns all together, we know exactly the composition of three total columns of a Sudoku, don't we? Because this column's got the digits 1 to 9, so is this column, and so is this column. So all together, those cells there definitely have three sets of the digits 1 to 9. There's going to be 3 1s, 3 2s, 3 3s, etc. But we also know that this grey square contains one set of the digits 1 to 9, and we know that this grey square contains one set of the digits 1 to 9. So that means that these little gaps here must contain one set of the digits 1 to 9 in order to make sure that the three columns overall have the correct numbers of digits in. So you can't repeat a digit within green, which is it's sort of obvious the moment you think about it, but until you've done, or until somebody's shown you that in a Windoku, it might not have occurred to you. And of course it works in the rows as well. So those digits all have to be different. So that's my Windoku trick. I've shared that with you. Should we do circles or should we do You'll Never Walk Alone? Let's quickly do You'll Never Walk Alone. So the key thing to remember with German whispers, there's sort of three related secrets. The first secret, you can't put 5 on a whisper, because if you do, the next digit doesn't work. It's got to be at least 5 different from 5. If you go up, you get to 10 or higher. If you go down, you get to 0 or lower. They aren't Sudoku digits. So don't put 5s on red lines in this puzzle. Next point is that means every digit on the whisper is either below 5 or it's above 5. And the crucial thing to appreciate is that, say this was above 5, can the next digit on the line now also be above 5? And the answer is obviously no, because even if we separate these two digits as much as we can and make them 6 and 9, that won't work, because 6 and 9 are only 3 apart, and we need them to be at least 5 apart. And that means what you get along these German whispers lines is this sort of oscillation of polarity. So if this is high, this will be low, this will be high, and this will be high again, I suppose. Now obviously we don't know yet whether this is high or low, but the moment we do, we'll be able to propagate that effect along the line. Final point about German whispers is there are two digits that are normally very hard to put on lines. So for example, well, those digits are so-called monogamous in the sense they only have one partner. So 4 and 6 are the digits I'm thinking of. Now 4 can only go next to 9, 6 can only go next to 1. And that's, again, it's fairly obvious once you start to think about it, but that's because 6, we need a digit that's 5 away from 6. And there's only 1 in Sudoku, and that is the digit 1. So you can't put things like 4s and 6s in the middle of these lines. That just will not work, because you'll end up having to distribute a whole load of 1s or 9s in the middle of the box and have too many in the box. Now circles are normally the trick with circles. The only trick I know with circles is to count them and think about what that means. So let's highlight them all using Sven's great double click technique. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm actually going to recount them because if this is the sort of thing, if you get this wrong, it is a nightmare. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I got the same. So I counted them horizontally and then I counted them vertically and I still got 16. So I'm pretty sure there are 16. Right, and what we now have to think about is how are we distributing digits within the circles such that the digits that we put in the circles sum to 16, because they must sum to 16. So for example, if we put a 7 in a circle, that means there are 7 7s in circles. So 7 of the circles in the puzzle would have 7s in them. And that would mean we'd had 9 circles left to fill. If we then put a 4 in a circle, then 4 circles would have 4 in. And then we'd be left with 5 circles to fill. So one possibility would be 2, 3, 4, 7, I suppose. Now, I can see that 9 is not going in a circle for this puzzle, because for 9 to go in a circle, there are only 9 9s in the puzzle, aren't there? There's 1 9 in this box, 1 9 in this box, etc. And you'd have to put a 9 in every row in a circle, and this row hasn't got any circles in it. In fact, Oh, hang on. No. We can do a lot better. Sorry, I was looking at the rows. Let's look at the boxes. That box, and that box have no circles in them at all. So immediately the highest number, so immediately the highest number I could possibly put in a circle is 6. And I must put a 6 in a circle now. And and just so that's clear, the reason that the highest number you can put in a circle is 6 is, if we tried to put 7 in this circle, we'd need to put 7 7s in circles, which means we'd need to have a circle in at least 7 of the 3x3 boxes, wouldn't we? Well, but we know there are 3 boxes out of the 9 that don't have any circles in them at all, so there's no way 7, 8 or 9 can go in a circle. Now, there must be a 6 in a circle now, because imagine there wasn't. Well, then we could populate the circles with 5, 4s, 3s, 2s and 1s, which is the most we could put in. But 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 only add up to 15. The triangular number for 5 is 15, and 15 is less than 16. There is a knowledge bomb for you. So, there is definitely a 6. Well, there are 6 is going in a circles, and 6, well, okay, so that is a 6. Because once we know that there are 6 6s in circles, I need to put a 6 in every single 3x3, a circled 6 in every 3x3 box, and in this box that must be there. Which means this isn't a 6, it means there's a 6 in one of these two, a 6 in one of these two, and didn't quite work in column 5. I think I might just pencil mark it though, just to remind me there's got to be a 6 in every box's circles. And then the question's going to be, what digits are there as well as 6? And it's tempting to say it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. I have seen that a lot. In fact, I've definitely seen 16 as quite a common number of circles. But there are other options available. So imagine that we put 5 into a circle. Right, actually we can't do that. We can't do that for a rather pretty reason, but it's different. Right. Because we could have got to 16. We could have put 6, 5, 3 and 1. That would have worked. They add up to 16, don't they? Or have I done my maths wrong? Maybe I've done my maths wrong. But it's definitely possible. 6, 5, 4 and 1. Sorry, that would work. That adds up to 16. 6, 5, 3 and 2 add up to 16. So, yeah, there would be various ways of doing it. Not perhaps the first way I came up with, but there are various ways of doing it. However, we can't actually put 5 in a circle for another reason. And that is, if we look at the You'll Never Walk Alone boxes, we clearly can't put a circled 5 in any of those, can we? Now, can we put a circled 5 in this box? And you may say at first blush, yes you can. You could put one in one of those. But you can't, because if you do put a 5 in there, then 5 in box 8 is going to be on the whisper. And we've already said that's not going to work, is it? So we can't put one in this box, and therefore there are now 5 3x3 boxes which cannot contain 5 circled 5s, which means there are a maximum of 4 3x3 boxes that can have a circled 5, and that won't work, because if we put one circled 5 in, we need 5 circled 5s. So we are looking at so in fact let's double click them. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 into the circles, and we've got to have lots of 6s. Okay, and only 1, 1. I was wondering whether the Sudoku was suddenly going to come into its own, actually. Not sure. No, I don't know. Maybe it does somehow, but I can't see how to do it. Right, so let's probably try whispers then, I suppose. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at this A. because this does have quite an interesting structure. Remember we talked about polarity. Well, so let's give this a polarity. Let's make that light green. No, I don't like light green. I'm going to make it dark green. Now, so if this was low, then alternate. This would be low, because we could go. So if this is low, this is high. So this is low, and this is low. And in fact, therefore, these are low. And we know that because these have all got the same polarity. And therefore, the green cells are either a collection of all the low digits, all the digits below 5, or all the high digits, all the digits above 5. Well, they're not all the digits above 5 because they can't include 6. So they must be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can't put 4 in the middle of the line because that will be surrounded by double 9. So there's a 4 in one of those, which means there's a 9 in one of these. 5 is in one of those. In fact, that might be a better strategy. Maybe we just think about 5s for a moment or two, just in case there's something easy. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. Look, the 5 on the N, or in the N box, can't go on the line, so it's in one of those 2 squares. So 5 is in one of 3 cells. I thought there might be a Windoku trick we could do, but maybe not. On the W, we've got the same thing, look. I've got a feeling lots of you are shouting at me. All right, where's the 5 in row 5? And the answer is I don't know, but it's definitely in one of those 2 squares now. So it can't go here and it can't go there, and it's not equal to a digit in a circle. Don't quite see how we take that forward then. Okay, so maybe it's not 5. What about? Well, okay. Right. So the next question I'm going to ask is, what is the nature of the N? And the N's nature, I don't know what the nature of it is, but I do know that it has a different nature to the W. So again, if we do polarity along this line, we can alternate along the line. All of those 4 cells are the same. So this is a collection of either 1, 2, 3, 4, which, oh, actually I didn't see that. No. No, that still might be possible. I was just noticing if it is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in purple, then I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 quintuple in column 1. I can't see why that doesn't work. Anyway, so let's say that purple is either 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that means that these 3 digits here in the middle are something else, aren't they? They are, if purple is 1, 2, 3, 4, these digits are from 6, 7, 8, and 9. But let's therefore look at the W. W's got oscillation going on as well. So these 4 squares are also from the same polarity. Now, could these also be purple? No, because then these 3 would all be green, and we'd have 6 digits that we'd have to pick from one shade of polarity. So 6 digits from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, we're necessarily going to end up repeating digits. 6 digits from 6, 7, 8, 9. It won't work. So the polarity of the W is different to the polarity of the N. Now, what does that mean? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. Right, okay, well... Alright, let's think about this differently then. Where do we put the naughty digits, the monogamous digits, in row 5? The 4 and the 6. 4 and 6 cannot go in the middle of whisper lines like this. is if you do put a 4 or a 6 here, you've got to double 9 the outsides of it. And that's the same with all 3 of those. It's the same with all 3 of these. So that means 4 and 6 are in the middle box, along with the 5. So these squares are a 4, 5, 6 triple. This square is not 5. This square is not 6 by Sudoku. These squares now are not 4 or 6. Oh, so that, right, sorry. Right, that does it. That just does that, doesn't it? So if these can't have 6 in, but we have to put a 6 somewhere in this box, it has to go there. So that's another digit for us. Now 6 is in one of these squares. I wonder if Jurgen Klopp does Sudoku, or any of the Liverpool team do Sudoku, or if any professional footballer who any of us have ever heard of actually has ever heard of cracking the cryptic. It would be fascinating to know. Wouldn't it be amazing if Jurgen Klopp did Sudoku and saw this Celery's tribute? That would just there would be something that was really quite wonderful about that. If that's 6, that's a 1 on the whisper. Yeah, let's look at the middle of this Y, because that is a bit restricted. Because it has to have 3 different partners that are different. So imagine this square was a 3. It can't be a 3, because these squares could only be selected from 8 and 9, and there are 3 of them, so you'd necessarily repeat a digit. So that digit has to be relatively extreme. It's either going to be 1, 2, 8 or 9. A 2 would work, because you could do 7, 8, 9. Maybe it's harder for it to be high. No. No, okay, sorry, I thought I might be able to do something just because I've got so many 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s and 6s in these circles. Okay, let's try something else then. How many... 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine. It's absolutely perfect. Right. Okay, I've got something much easier, I think. Let me just double check. 1, 2. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so look at the You'll Never Walk Alone boxes. Now, none of those have got a circled 4 in them, and the central box now doesn't have a circled 4 in it. So there are 5 3x3 boxes that don't have circled 4s in them, which means there are 4 boxes in the Sudoku that must have a circled 4 in, because we must have 4 circled 4s. That means that is a 4-6 pair, which must be interesting. So that means... Now look at this box. Remember, we said one of those was a 4, so that square can't be 4 or 6. Yet we know this box has a 4, 6 in the circles, so those are there. So this is a 1, 2 or a 3. Bother. Does that do anything good? So this box has to have 4 and 6. I mean, I might as well pencil mark it. There's got to be a 4 in one of these squares. And this has got to have 4 in one of those squares as well as 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, do we now... Oh no, I was wondering if I could do the same trick with 3s, but 3s don't work the same way because box 5 can have a circled 3 in it. So I haven't quite corrected the count for 3s. I've still got 4 boxes that can have 3 in a circle. Bother. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so what else could we do here? Oh, no, that doesn't. Or does it? Hang on. Yeah, okay. No, I'm still not quite getting it. Actually, sorry. I thought I might be able to do something. Well, yes. Hang on. No. I feel like I must know something about this box. What I'm trying to do in my brain is decide whether I know about the extreme digits in this box. I think there's definitely a 1 or a 9 in one of those squares. Yeah, okay. Another way to think about this box is that the digit that's the sort of middly digit that's not the purple digit. So say purple was high. Say purple was 6, 7, 8 and 9. Then we know that green is low. So green is 1, 2, 3 and 4. But none of these can have the 4 in. So one of these would have the 4 in. So these squares are from 4, 5 and 6. And the same is going to be true there, but it's going to be the other digit. So if this was 4 or 6, that would be the green 4 or 6. So one of these is green 4 or 6. Hang on, isn't that just force? Isn't this just force then? Am I being incredibly slow? I think I am. Yes, I am. Right, it's not. I don't think it's this one. I think it's this one where I need to focus my attention, because there is the green set of digits is either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, that means whichever one of those it is, the 4 or the 6, which is the monogamous digit, cannot go in the middle of the line. If we try and put 4 here, we're going to have to put double 9. If we try and put 6 here, we're going to have to put double 1. That won't work. So this naughty digit has to go in one of these two squares. Now, that means that that digit by Sudoku is it's definitely in one of those 3 squares. It's definitely in one of those 2 squares. So in this box, don't forget it's a green digit because it's in one of those squares. It's exactly there. So that is green 4 or 6, and therefore this is 5, and therefore this is 5, and therefore that is... So that's now purple 4 or 6. Oh, beautiful. Right, this is huge, because now if that's purple 4 or 6, that finds a friend in here again, and by Sudoku it's in one of those 2 squares, but it can't be here, because if this is purple 4, this is double 9. If it's purple 6, this is double 1. So that's purple 4 or 6. And now I've got a 4, 6 pair here. But I have to have 4 and 6 in this box, don't I? So this is now purple 4 and purple 6. Which might be huge or not. I don't know. This is 1 or 9 by whisper logic, because whatever this is, this must be the monogamous digit that goes along with it. Can we keep that going somehow? I know one of these is green 4 or green 6, but I don't know if I know which. Oh, yes. Oh, look. This has been... Look at this column. I've got a 4, 6 pair. That can't be 4 or 6. This is a great puzzle, by the way. So this must be the 4 and the 6 in box 3. So this is not 4 or 6. So this is 4 or 6. I almost wonder whether we need to... Oh, well, yeah, okay. Look, I've said 6 is up here, but there's a 4-6 pair looking at these two squares. So 6 is at the top. Oh, the 6 is at the top. That's huge. So this is 1. And now we know that the polarity of this line, so these squares have to be high. They're from 7, 8 and 9. That might mean... Hang on. Well, okay, that means I've got a 2-3 pair down here. So I've got a 1-4 pair in box 8. And that might mean... What does that mean then? I don't know. I've not got anything good, I'm afraid. Can we do... See, maybe I am going to colour my 4s and 6s. Is that... Can I propagate this colouring? That would be the... Oh, yeah, I can a bit. Look, this is the green 4 or 6, isn't it? Because it can't be the purple one. So that's the purple one. So that's the purple one. That's the green one. That's the purple. That's the green. That's purple. So that's purple. So that's green. We need this to somehow get into these middle rows. Oh, that's a 4. There we go. That's a 4 by Sudoku, very simply. I just didn't see it. Right, so that's 4, that's 5. And if that's 4, that's 4, that's 1, that's 9. Aha! Right, so these squares are 5, 7 and 8 in some order, with this one not being able to be 5. And therefore, oh, I'm not sure. What do we think we've got to do now? I don't know. That's not a 1. Actually, maybe it's going to be back to circles logic. That would be clever, wouldn't it? If we've got to bounce around. That's not a 1 either. That's not a 1 either, actually, so maybe it's 1s. Where is the circled 1? I think there's only 2 choices. No, 3. There are 3 choices. Bother. Okay. Right, so that's not actually been... That's not been that productive, has it? There must be something else we can do here. I need to... Oh, I don't know. Sorry, if it's obvious, I apologise. I am trying to see what I've got to do now, and I am failing miserably. 1 is in one of these 2 cells. Could we... How many... It's just the central 4s and 6s that we've not coloured, isn't it? So there must be some way of us getting that colouring done. What's the way that we're going to disambiguate the 4s and the 6s? Or is it going to be something to... Oh, I'll tell you what it might be, because I've not really thought about this very hard at all. But it could be... Oh, that's not 9. It could be Windoku trickery. Yeah, could it be Windoku trickery? Let's have a think about that for a moment or two. That's a 1 or a 9 by Sudoku. Well, no, by whisper logic. So I've got a 1, 9 pair in this row. So 2, 3, 7 and 8 go into these squares. Do we know enough about any of these to be useful? Can we put... If that's a 7, that will be a 9. This would have to be a 1-2 pair. That might be okay. I'm not sure. Okay. Where is the 1 in this Windoku box? I don't know the answer. But I think because of this one, it's not there and it's not there. So it's in one of 2 positions. And that knocks 1 out of that possible circle position. Yeah, okay, so now I've got a 2-3 pair in column 8, and that is not a 2 or a 3. So that is a 7 or an 8, and it's high. So purple is high, and that's massive. So we're just going to be able to double click. Oh, no, it's not going to work. Right, so purple is high. So wherever purple is, 4 or a 6, we're going to write in 6. Wherever green is 4 or 6, we're going to write in 4. And that means that's a 9 by Whisper Logic. This is a 1 by Whisper Logic. This is a 2-3 pair. This is a 4. These must both be high. So this is 7-8. Okay, this could even crack the whole puzzle open. That is such a big breakthrough, I feel. Right, these squares are 7, 8, and 9. This is not a 1. I feel like I've got rid of enough 1s now. Do I know that this is the last one? Where could I have a circled 1 if it's not there? There's nowhere, is there? That's got to be a circled 1. Okay. So now, okay, that doesn't do the 1 in these boxes. Probably. But... okay, can we do... yeah, I can do the 3s. I can do the 3s using a different trick. Okay, so let's go back to the 3s in the circles. I've got to have 3 3s in circles. I think at the moment I've got no 3s in circles. Now, I can put 1 3 in column 8. I can put 1 3 in column 1. And that only leaves this as my extraneous 3. So that is a 3. Now, well, there's now a 3 in one of those squares, actually. I was wondering about Windoku 3-ery in this box. Yeah, that's massive, isn't it? Because, yeah, where is the 3 in box 3? And again, I don't know the answer, but I do know it's not repeating in this Windoku box. So it's in one of these 3 squares, but that's enough. Because now it goes over here and stops that bit. Oh, we don't get a 3 in the corner. We get a 3 here. And we get a 3 here. And now that 2 means we get a 3 here. And we get a 2 here. And therefore we get a 2 in one of these squares by Sudoku. We get a 2 in one of these squares. We may not know the answer to that. Can we keep going with... there's a 2 in one of these, so that's not 2. So this is 2. 2 is... oh, it's fine. That's fine. These are a 1 3 pair. 3 can't be here, because it would be next to a 7. And 3 and 7 are only 4 apart, so that can't be right. That must be 1, that must be 3. Now this must be 8 now, and that must be 7 sitting between the 1 and the 2. So that looks very nice. I can believe that that's correct. Right, where should we go next? It's almost tempting to start really focusing on the Windoku, actually. I'm not sure. I'm staring at it, trying to see what it might mean, and doing a bad job. But yeah, okay, well, let's look at these, for example. That's quite a lot of... so we know that this is an extra region, these 9 cells, don't we? And you can see there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. The only digits we've not placed are 5 and 7. So this is 5 or 7, and this is 5 or 7. And it felt like there must be a way of resolving that, but I can't see what it is. So the rest of this column needs to contain 1, 2, and 8. So that is 1 or 8. And these are 1, 2, or 8. But that's in a Windoku, which is not resolved, I don't think. This is also in a Windoku, also doesn't seem to be resolved. Bother. Okay, well, maybe we should go back to trying to do things conventionally. What about column 8? We need 1, 7, and 9. Can we do that? That square is 7 or 9. I don't know that we can. This Windoku... I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Have we done as much as we possibly could? That can't be a 7 on this Whisper, because it would be next to a 3 again. So this is 8 or 9. We've done all our circles, haven't we? So all the circles do belong to us. 5, 7, 8, 9. Can we do... Oh, there it is. 5. Look at that 5. That naughty little 5 is looking there. Through the magic of Windoku. Actually, that might not do nearly as much as I was hoping. 5 is in one of these two squares. Oh, no. No. It's fine. Oh, hang on. Why can't I put a 5 in there? Oh, that's because of this 5, 7 pair. Yeah, okay, that's right. So there is a 5 in box 3 is in the top row, and that's looking at that square. So this is a 5. Those fives look uncomfortably close together, but that may be okay. So, has that done anything magical or not? Yeah. Where's 5 in this box? It can't go there because it would see this Windoku digit, so that's got to be 5. So this is 7, 8, or 9 in row 4. These are 7, 8, and 9 in column 1. Got to put 2 into this Windoku box, and it can't go there or there. So that is just a 2. It's just sitting there, mocking me. Alright, that's become an 8 somehow. That's now a 1. We can take 1 out of everywhere in the Windoku box. We get left with a 7, 9. In fact, we get left with a weird 7, 9 pair in this Windoku box. That's 7, 8, or 9. That's 7 or 9. Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, so there's a 7, 8, 9 triple left in that Windoku box. That's not 9 by a process of something called Sudoku. And this must be a 5. Ah, that must be 5 or 9 in the corner. I don't know, maybe that's useful. 1, 2. This 5 takes a 5 out of this square. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity to do better Windoku than I've managed to do. But we're slowly... that 5 sees that one. Another opportunity to do Windoku. That 5, that's now a 9, that's now a 7, that's a 9. That sees both of these by Windoku. That 7 sees that 9 by Windoku. They become a 7, 8 pair. So in this column we've not put 2 in. We need to put 2 there. So these, I feel like I've got 7, 8s and 9s all over the place. That's not 9. That's not 9, is it? Those two see each other. Oh, Simon. Terrible. Terrible. That's got to be 2 now. It can't be 3 because 7 and 2 need to be... Well, 7 and 3 are not far enough apart. So that's 9. Yeah, I feel like this is sort of solving now, isn't it? I'm not having to do too much thinking. That's Windoku that got me that digit. 8, 7 by Sudoku. Careful, that's not... Those don't see each other by Windoku. Alright, what are those digits at the top then? They are 1 and something. 7 and 1. 7 and 1 can go in. This column needs a 3. Oh, I thought we did all the 3s, but maybe we didn't. Okay, so that's 3, that's 2, that's going to do... That forces this not to be 7, so that's 8, that's 7, that's now 9. Oh, it probably was already 9, if I bothered to actually think about it. And these are 1, 2 and 9, so we can put the 9 in, we can put the 1 in, we can put the 2 in. Let's check this Sudoku box looks right. Yeah, it does look right. Let's check that one looks right. It looks okay. And we're left with 3 and 8. Oh, that's great. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, beautiful puzzle. What a beautiful tribute. Celery. I hope Jurgen Klopp is a Sudoku fan, and I hope that he can look at that puzzle and admire it as I have done. That is a beautiful Sudoku. Lots of different things to think about in it. Lots of different trickery to employ. And we have walked through the storm with our heads held high. And hopefully we will hear the song of the lark soon. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the puzzle. Let's give Celery some props. Those of you who are Liverpool fans, and even those of you who aren't, might be able to give Jurgen Klopp some props. Thank you, Jurgen, for all you've done, and thank you, Celery, for setting such a wonderful tribute. And we'll be back with some Hexcells very soon, as well as some more Sudoku later on. Bye for now.